Hey guys, welcome back to another statue review. This time I'm going to be reviewing the premium format Venom by Sideshow Collectibles. The statue was released around fall of 2022. It comes in a pretty nice big box art. As you can see in the picture, it's just blue in color. There's a silhouette drawing of Venom on one side. I was too excited to open up the statue to take more photos. So this Venom statue attracted me because it's a 1/4 scale approximately, so it's pretty large size when you look at Venom scaled up, and the pose on the statue, he's lumbering forward, looking, hunting, apparently for Peter Parker because he's got his shredded mask in his left hand. It's a very intimidating look, and yeah, I love it. The detail on the statue as well is what caught my eye. The painting and the base detail. So when I first saw it on websites and the photos, I knew I had to get it. And overall, it's just a very ferocious looking statue. So as you can see in this video itself, the base of the statue is green. Venom is stepping over something, and there's a goblin glider as well that's broken up, and below him there's an Oscorp, I think it's like a sewage cap in the base as well, followed by some crumbling concrete. The statue rests on top of this base, obviously, and it's keyed in on one of his feet. The other foot just rests on the base itself, so it's his left foot that keys in, and then his right foot just rests on the base. The assembly in general is pretty easy. It's the base, the body, the glider, and then his arms and his head, and then a whole bunch of tendrils. The tendrils were quite annoying to put in because there were so many, and when I installed them, it was in a pretty dimly lit room, so it was hard to see them all, especially with the color of Venom. Overall, yeah, it's a very heavy statue, so make sure if you do get it to put it on a pretty nice sturdy shelf. The statue itself, it's got a gorgeous paint on it. It's beautiful blue and black colors on Venom that change with the viewing angle. There's the white emblem on him, the spider on his front and back, and then his dorsal parts of his hands for the web. His eyes are primarily white, but they have a red tint to them, so a lot of people I've noticed it's controversial on how they see that. Some like it, some don't. It's subjective. I personally don't mind it. It's that's how I see Venom, so it's all good. My Sideshow piece had a missing portion of paint on his chest emblem. It was like there were some black unpainted spots. Luckily I'm a model painter, so I just went in and covered it up. Overall, not much else to say about the statue itself. The base has a green paint to it, and that green paint reflects off of Venom, but in actuality some parts of his legs on the side that are facing the liquid, they're artificially, the reflection is painted on there. And again, to some people, they don't like that, but to me, I don't mind it. The green reflection that you're seeing on my statue on his arms and chest and other parts of his legs are actually not painted on. That's from just the lighting reflecting off of the green and then bouncing onto Venom himself. It's a pretty detailed statue. His musculature is really solid. It's very sinewy. The symbiote's covering him, and you can see it traversing throughout his body and onto the base itself. I really like the motion of this statue. Like I said before, he's lumbering forward, he's hunting, he's looking for Spider-Man, and the way his arms are behind him, looks like he's just lurched forward, which he is, and he's looking around, running, or I don't think he's running, he's walking pretty quickly, and the tendrils coming off of him are also waving around, so it just adds a lot to the kinetic characteristic of this statue. The face is great. His teeth aren't too gnarly. His tongue is coming out like, you know, it does in every Venom statue pretty much. One thing I've noticed a lot of reviewers talk about is the seams. I don't notice the seams too much unless I'm actively looking for them. The way they've designed the seams on this statue is that his musculature will go into the seams and then other musculature will come out of the seams. So it ends up being hidden pretty well. The seam for his neck, it's more visible on the interior part of his chest, but since that part is leaning, you know, forward and down, you're not going to see it unless you have Venom super high up. So I don't mind it, but you know, again, it's subjective, so you might be more sensitive to that than I am. One thing important to mention is this statue has a very large footprint. I have this statue on an 18-inch depth shelf from front to back. If you were to put him on there, he basically overflows just slightly over that. So the dimensions should be listed on the video itself. Overall, this is my first ever Venom statue. I am a huge fan of this statue, you know, ever since I started collecting recently. I've been trying to find characters who've, you know, impacted me as I grew up reading comics, and Venom was one of them. So I'm really glad I have him, and his price is pretty reasonable for the amount of detail that they've put on his statue. It's obviously it's not like a XM Studios version or some other high-end studio. It does what it needs to do for me, and to me that's all that matters, but to you it might not. So that's all I have to really say about this statue. I appreciate your time, and thanks for watching. Take care.